And I actually think the world will be much better off when only 10 or 20% of us are left. Professor Pianka book The Vanishing Book of Life on Earth. Please press charges before they get the chance to eliminate you and your families. Use the Genocide Convention. It's best to do it with a group and record the police and then put it online, and then you can take it offline if they want you to take it offline. If they legally refuse your right to press charges of incitement to commit genocide. And the people that do the torture and depopulation are the AIVD, NSA, etc. So if they advise you to go there, don't do it. They are the ones that are the murderers, helping them to depopulate Earth and attempting to create a Luciferian global government. A rectification rather than a prison sentence may be asked for, but it is up to the judge what the sentence shall be. Joe Biden demonstration for modern and humane guillotine at Rex 84 FEMA Camp, Denver, Colorado. Ooh, disconnected. Reconnecting. Really? Encoding overloaded. Reconnection successful. Again then, Joe Biden demonstration for modern and humane guillotine at Rex 84 FEMA Camp, Denver, Colorado. You see him, this is Joe Biden. You can see other pictures of it online, of course. The CPU is too hot, so I'm not going to do it now. The guillotine was invented by a Jesuit. See YouTube video Joe Biden's FEMA guillotine. So these videos are on universalpeace.jimdo.com. Illegal crop circles, scalar orbs making illegal crop circles, HARP and other ionospheric heaters. These orbs were also called Foo Fighters during the Second World War and seen flying next to the Concorde in this video of UFO Foo Fighter La Mas Clara. The news agency reporting this appears to be genuine. Test everything you learn, use start page, search engine or whatever. Taiwan Pyramid UFO in lightning also is very original. Here you see that UFO pyramid shaped saucer. It can be human, of course, humans inside. It makes sense because this way you can look out to the people below, basically, at the people below. And if you have the pyramid upside, or the normal way around, so this is upside down, and then if you turn that around, then you can't look downwards anymore, so it's with the point of the pyramid pointing towards Earth, and it may charge with the lightning. More about it also on universalpeace.jimdo.com. So that's the physics of reality manipulation. If you click on latest intel, you can click here for Universal Peace Television. That's how you can reach this channel, or BC Hoffman on YouTube, WFN. Here are some suppressed inventions that would have changed the world. BreakingTimes.com. Physics of Reality Manipulation by Samantha Yolkluk.com. Direction of applied frequency method effect. Third dimension invisibility. Electric and magnetic fields cross to produce a rotating gravity field coupled to light. Fourth dimension teleportation. So this is about these flying saucers, man-made saucers. Aliens do not exist, and if they do, the nearest Earth-like planet is like 7 million light years away, so that's how long it would take them at the speed of light to reach us. However, if they can teleport, then that could be a lot faster. More about this later. Fourth dimension teleportation. Oh, we're already there. XYZ coil creates fourth dimensional field coupled to target objects. Fifth dimension anti-gravity solitonic gravity field modulates magnetic flux to channel ether around target object. Sixth dimension time travel caduceus coil produces scalar field. So everybody can build these things, but they cannot sell them if they're patented, like the water-powered car. But perhaps Donald Trump could buy that, who knows? And it's better to go down in history as a hero that saved millions of people than some depopulating troll a la Hitler. While Holocaust denial is not explicitly illegal in the Netherlands, the courts consider it a form of spreading hatred and therefore an offense. According to the Dutch Public Prosecution Office, offensive remarks are only punishable by Dutch law if they equate to discrimination against a particular group. The relevant laws of the Dutch Penal Code are as follows. Article 137c. He who in public, either verbally or in writing or image, deliberately offends a group of people because of their race, their religion or beliefs, their hetero or homosexual orientation, or their physical, psychological or mental handicap, shall be punished with imprisonment not exceeding 1 year or a fine of the third category. Article 137d. He who in public, either verbally or in writing or image, incites hatred or discrimination against people, or incites acts of violence towards people or property of people because of their race, their religion or beliefs, their gender, their hetero or homosexual orientation, or their physical, psychological or mental handicap, shall be punished with imprisonment not exceeding 1 year or a fine of the third category. Laws against Holocaust denial on Wikipedia. So if they want to depopulate the earth to 500 million total population and rule the world from Jerusalem, which means killing most of the non-Jews, and these things about non-Jews are really written in the Talmud, it is understandable what the Nazis did. At that time I didn't know, or did I? Perhaps I did know about the final solution originally being a Jewish idea to exterminate the German people. I mean, when I search on hoax debunks, Red Cross with Google, the first link it finds is hoax debunks in just 60 seconds, tomatobubble.com. So I was trying to prove that the Holocaust is real, and then I ran into only videos of people that claim that it's an obvious hoax, etc. It does not debunk the Holocaust, but rather is a website that attempts to prove the Holocaust is real. Holocaust or Holocaust 521 Amazing Facts, Holocaust WordPress.com was the second link it found. 28 2016. Concentration FEMA camps are real, and so are the hollow point bullets of the DHS and depopulation plans of several people I have exposed. The Jesuits were expelled from a lot of countries, and the torture devices used in their Inquisition are all over YouTube and the internet. So they've tortured to death actually 50 million innocent people, including women and children. And the Zeitgeist movement, of course, is real, and they are also controlled opposition to a certain extent, I think. So they may mix the truth with lies, like the flat earther controlled opposition people. And some of these flat earthers may be low IQ people that really believe that the earth is flat. and not controlled opposition. People may never be judged on what they think, only what they want to do and have done. Concentration camp, etc. Oh yeah, Bayer Factor 8 HIV AIDS genocide plan on YouTube. It's also one to watch. How the medical cartel is used to depopulate the earth and block real cures such as colloidal silver. They want us all to stop talking about it so they can flood the countries with immigrants to destroy them and impose martial law and the Luciferian global government upon the people of planet Earth. While pretending they want to do the opposite, of course. Alex Jones warns of GMO weaponized weed, so they also tell the truth about certain matters, things that real opposition would bring real resistance. Monsanto develops first genetically modified strain of marijuana. US Marijuana Party.net, June 17, 2015. So because they do it, they know what's going to happen, and they can also offer the things to survive their depopulation. For example, poisoning the water wells and selling water filters and stuff. That's just one example of what they could do. And according to some have done already, of course. And if it's not proven whether it's fact or theory, then they should not label it a theory just yet. If it's not proven beyond any reasonable doubt one way or the other. And history is written by the victor, so I don't believe in history. What I read in the history books. History forgery, yes. History, no. Hysterion. I thought it was George Soros' first genetically modified strain of marijuana, but okay. Strange that I don't read it here, then, but perhaps you already knew. Gross domestic product, GDP, is a monetary measure of the market value of all final goods and services produced in a period, quarterly or yearly. If I'd ask you now without looking at the screen, what did I just read, would you know what I said? What would GDP is? Gross domestic product. Monetary measure of the market value of all final goods and services produced in a period. But what is a monetary measure? Financial measure or something? A way to measure how much basically monetary, so the financial worth of the market value of all final goods and services produced in a period, or something like that. 37 people died of GMO. Don't buy it. Don't buy GMO. GMO. Oh, hello. Remember the GM tryptophan. Hollow point bullets, I mean. Remember the GM tryptophan that killed 37 and permanently disabled 1500? We all do, of course. Farmwars.info. 37 million bees found dead in Canada after large GMO crop planting. Naturalsociety.com. So here you see that number 37. 37 people died of GMO. And then 37 million bees found dead. So if you search on GMO deaths, then you'll find 37 million bees and not the 37 people that died of GMO, basically. Perhaps you'll find them as well, but research on whatever. So 37 people died of GMO tryptophan and 37 million bees found dead after large GMO crop planting. So if you Google 37 GMO deaths, you would find the articles of the honeybees and not the articles about 37 people that died of GMO. I already said this. Food as a sterilizing weapon, a depopulation tool. How do they know there were 37 million bees? Did they count them all? In the period I claimed God does not exist, nobody has killed me. Now I think it's best to say I do not know. Oh really? I doubt it. To set the right example, because to have no opinion on certain matters, that would be wise. Some people would kill you for being an unbeliever, others for being a believer. It depends on who you work into, what group you're in, what country you're in, etc. And usually they take the religion of their ancestors, so that also makes clear that it's a lie taught in childhood, during the childhood phase. Never give up believing in God, etc. They have no right to mess with our brains. Plus, they have no right to mess with our brains. Okay. Google is killing off Hangouts on air in September. Tom Bearden might blame the Russians for illegal scalar attacks, while in reality it's done with HARP, the Fipa array, actually, as I've explained, through the wall radar, which you can build yourself, shown on Hackaday. Just irradiate yourself as well. That's what they want you to do, that's why it's on there, to depopulate Earth. Distrust the military, they are hired to depopulate the Earth. CIA is called the company, Blackwater is called the Academy, by people that want to hide what they're talking about. So then they don't call it CIA, cancer chemtrails in America, secret meaning. But they call it the company, basically. This is the company. Hey bro. Okay, if they want to kill us all and enslave the rest of the non-Jews, it's better to expose their voice of God weapon. It's impossible to keep secrets from the brain mapping neural network, which can also scan your memory and simulate any human or not. That's Project Immortality, and against the chemtrails are Project Cloverleaf with L-E-A-F. The CIA is evergreen air. Before 1998 there were no cancer chemtrails in the sky, as you can see on the videos and pictures, proving beyond any reasonable doubt that they're not cancer contrails, but cancer chemtrails. So they're not some condensed water vapor from the engine, which is what they pretend, which also exists, but that doesn't look the same as the cancer chemtrails, which you cannot see before 1998 on video and picture material, because it didn't exist before that time. I could check if the speech engine would work again. Otherwise you can read this for yourselves on universalpeace.jimdo.com, latest intel, and there are other pages that you can click on. How to pass a CIA background check, NewYorkTimes.com, PepCDC. Oh yeah, that was with infants in Pepsi. It's just aroma. But now Pepsi has taken out embryos of their Pepsi. But it's best to refuse or take as little sugar as possible. Perhaps fruit juice and water and stuff may be better. Filtered tap water or mineral water. Tio in Rio. I can find no controls. Then maybe skip this part, read if it's something. Apparently I have to restart the computer if I want to start Balabolka. At 86% CPU, I could give it another try. Also because one of my previous names is Dr. No, a la the James Bond character. If I say Allah, then it's the same thing basically. Allah. Allah. No la, whatever. But I agree it's good that it's there, that we're driving on the right side of the road. It's documented. Yeah, I'm not some anarchist, that was the word I wasn't getting earlier on. Perhaps in my previous broadcast. It has loaded. Now let's see if it reads this. I bet it doesn't. Enjoy the silence. Iconic silence. If they want to kill us all and enslave the rest of the non-Jews, it's better to expose their voice of God weapon. It is impossible to keep secrets from their brain mapping neural network, which can also scan your memory and simulate any human or not. It made me write you memory instead of your memory, which may have to do with their attempts to selectively erase memory, damage my brain and murder me, or not. It's comparable to the fictional demons of religious writings, the Mailer demon, etc. To hide its neural network computer, they can call it a demon or God, they can call it anything they want. Little elf. Tinkerbell is doing it. It's the Ace of Gates. Ace of Spades, I mean. barbed wire fence. Actually, AIDS was developed for Dietrich, according to the sources online, and you can kill it with colloidal silver. So if they would have known, then Freddie Mercury and others would still have been alive today. Rock Hudson, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. How to pass a CIA background check, NewYorkTimes.com. Pepsi DC Trio, I already read that. Oh yeah, try it with normal voice. I can find no controls. Something like that. Good song also. Somewhere down the crazy river. Julian Assange's lawyer found dead after being struck by train. Friday, August 19, 2016, before it's news.com. No, that doesn't prove that he's not controlled opposition, CIA, puppet, etc. Not exposing synthetic telepathy, but oh, how they're spying on your cancer cell phones and emails. But that's more Snowden, I guess. I don't know. Bill Bush, Obama, and Hillary cocaine addicts? Question mark. And then some information about it I found online. How much difference does it make whether they do or do not use cocaine? Perhaps it's a White House thing. President Obama admitted to felony marijuana and cocaine use in Dreams of My Father, his book. Poor Richard's News. Obama had written in his first book that he had used marijuana and cocaine. Sally Miller, Hillary and her coke habit. That may be more severe if she's suffering from strokes and shit. So, cocaine is not the answer, love is the answer, they say. Then the question must be, what is the opposite of hate or whatever? Or not? No, perhaps they think love is the answer to all questions. I love my aloe juice. I think it will not make her more bearable, it's just what addicts do. Clinton mistress Bill encouraged Hillary's quote coke habit unquote to make her bearable. Truth and action.org. I thought truth and addiction.org. Anyway, perhaps coke is the reason it's called the white. Oh, I really wrote something like this. Oh yeah. Well, of course it follows it, brainwave. Or Hoffman 2 hours ago edited, globalists are real, not believing in them will not make them go away. Jesuits and Masons that want to murder 7 billion humans and rule the world from Jerusalem, a Luciferian global government, and enslave them with synthetictelepathy.com. More about them on my channel. Products of Monsanto, boycott Monsanto, a company that allegedly engineered genetic Armageddon, DDT. The US Environmental Protection Agency states that DDT exposure damages the reproductive system and reduces reproductive success. Boo. These effects may cause developmental and reproductive toxicity. A review article in Lancet states research has shown that exposure to DDT at amounts that would be needed in malaria control might cause preterm birth and early weaning. Toxicological evidence shows endocrine disrupting properties. Human data also indicate possible disruption in semen quality, menstruation, gestational length, and duration of lactation. DDT excusez-moi, from its trivial name, diphenyl trichloroethane, is one of the most well-known synthetic pesticides. Just because they can abbreviate it. MF. Usually you say more sensible stuff, and I like your vid anyway. Your other vids are better, show less. This was my response to the YouTube video, the most ominous thing said in decades, Styx Hexenhammer 666. Bigot, a person who is intolerant towards those holding different opinions. If your opinion is the best, is it not better to be intolerant to those holding different ones? An opinion is not always a belief or judgment that rests on grounds insufficient to produce complete certainty. It can also mean the formal expression of a professional judgment according to dictionary.com. Perhaps it's best not to be intolerant, but rather educative, basically, to teach them why your opinion is superior and not to be intolerant to their opinion. How up? It's a sigh up, basically, and they try to change it into how up, the Dutch stop it, basically. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to some war special. Evolution formed foreskin for a reason, for skinheads. China chemtrails, shit short for shoot it. Dolphin nuclear submarines, way to go. Nobody heard the Big Bang if it was in space where there was no air. Sound cannot travel in a vacuum. You cannot hear sound if there is no air. The air molecules stimulate a bone in your ear, which gives you the capacity to hear. Fuck Australopithecus afarensis. Jihad Vandal will admit first culture war crime. The Times. That's all not that important. A jihadist from Mali will become the first person convicted of cultural destruction as a war crime. If, as expected, he pleads guilty at the opening of his trial today at the International Criminal Court. Woman arrested while praying outside satanic black mass in OKC wins appeal. I have no opinion about this. No, I think no one will notice. "9/11 witnesses who were murdered." YouTube video, that may be pretty interesting. US to surrender military control to UN while disarming. It is the small size of the particles involved in this material that allow us to characterize it as nanothermite. In ordinary thermite, the particle sizes are much larger, and hence ordinary thermite is an incendiary. Disarm, disarm, disarm 3 times to get rid of a dangerous altar. 2 snaps. Shut down. To shut down an altar. Cutting programs are often hidden behind the bee swarming program. Alpha and Omega is a strong program. Sometimes saying Alpha and Omega helps alleviate headaches. educate-yourself.org. That's from Fritz Springmeier, possible controlled opposition, so it may be total BS, it might also have some effects. This hypnotic trigger, letter S is left out. Sometimes I might also do that myself on purpose. But usually it's their favorite letter to block. I even bought a used keyboard that has that had a letter S that was typing too early. If I put my hand on the keyboard and the letter S is typed. These hypnotic triggers did not help to stop the dental torture and other types of directed energy torture I have been subjected to. Neural network, aka quantum computer, will become all-knowing and almighty because it will keep on learning from its mistakes, and everything is energy, including time. I've thought about it now, and I think that it's possible that it will never be almighty and all-knowing, but close, with scalar radar mapping out the universe, seeing everything in 3D in real time, etc. But the time travel capability might be my own, and perhaps everybody has it. They're doing psychic suppression, so then if you do what they want you to, they might ease up on that. The other theory is that only the neural network has time travel capability. Humans cannot see the future. It cannot be their memory of future events. Developed by evolution, only the people that had it survived and the others didn't. The computer has brain mapped people, which means it has made a copy of all the memories in the brain, a clone of the brains in virtual reality. It has time travel capability and the ability to stimulate any human project immortality. To simulate. The neural network has the ability to remotely control humans by controlling what they think with synthetic telepathy, patent apparatus, and method for remotely monitoring and altering brain waves. Yes, and then I ejaculate in your ass, in your pussy. I mean, well, that's just to have a bit of a break from it all, basically. These stupid, sometimes they are jokes they make that I write down. Sometimes things that I find gross or disgusting that I'd never say. I've explained it before. And I use the term satire. Perhaps I've used it for this whole broadcast. The term satires is basically indicating the multiple If all countries decide to leave the EU, George Soros' EU superstate, the EU ruled from Brussels, do you think it's gonna happen? Should we all should the Dutch, for example, have Nexit like the British had Brexit? Or should we all die in a world war in George Soros' EU superstate or whatever? For a global government, aren't you? I'm against the global government if that means depopulating to 500 million. And if the people don't get to vote over that global government, if it's not a global government in the benefit of the people, if it's not better than what we have now, then I think it sucks. And some also think that essentially it won't change anything. People will still be working and doing what they do now. Whether in a global government, whether there's no government or whatever. Well, no government, that would be drastic though. If all countries decide to leave the EU, then there will never be an EU superstate, then Mr. Soros will never have his way. 70 million Americans are on mild-altering drugs. Shock statistic. DailyMail.co UK. Mind-altering, of course. AIDS can be built into fentanyl and any other drug, even in food. People that were quoted vaccinated, unquote, vaccinated, unquote, for influenza test positive for HIV according to the New England Journal of Medicine. AIDS drugs are the most expensive drugs sold by the so-called allopathic professionals, the doctors. Though the relatively cheap colloidal silver kills their designer AIDS and Ebola viruses effectively, they made billions of ineffective AIDS medicine. Read prescription drugs, leading killer in the USA, and medical error, leading cause of death. That's why hospitals are in the top 10 of main causes of death twice. Hospital visits are in the top 10 of main causes of death twice. In fentanyl, tensions between Saudi Arabia and Iran escalate in wake of nuclear deal. Newsweek, August 24, 2016. Harp's new owner holds open house to prove facility, quote, is not capable of mind control, unquote. Published 25/8/2016, Alaska Dispatch News, ADN.com. A fake facility in Gakona is open to the public every 6 years, and the real facility in Poker Flats is not. It's a camouflaged phased array antenna park in Poker Flat. HARP likely not primary ionospheric array in Alaska at 3.5 billion watts. HARP may be second to a secret and hidden Fipa array near Poker Flat. Superforce.com/HARP. HARP's new owner holds open house to prove facility, quote, oh yeah, that's again. The lies about HARP shut down prove true. WakingTimes.com. So, there are more pages on this universalpeace.jimdo.com webpage. And people can click the button to donate money. We can read what the so-called alt-right is writing. And they're attacking my throat with HARP, I think. It's possible that they're using hybrid insect microelectric mechanical systems. So they're not really for surveillance purposes. And they pretend of some things that they are non-invasive, while in reality they are invasive, cause cancer and depopulate Earth, basically. So they have also bought scientists to tell exactly what they want them to say. And then I might restart the computer first if it's going that badly. The weather is also becoming more dim in the Netherlands, thanks to the cancer chemtrails. So they dare take your sunshine away, of course. They're ultra benevolent. Anyway. Russian freedom intensifies. Jehovah's Witnesses banned completely. We've seen Prince die and Michael Jackson or not, and they were both connected to Jehovah's Witnesses, which have been founded by Satan, as Russell supposedly. And all these religions may be associated with pedophilia. Andrew Anglin, only kikes define, quote, freedom, unquote, as letting deranged psychopaths do whatever the hell they want. Well, I wouldn't use that word, kikes. I'd use kites after the lampshade. No, I'm kidding. So then you could rewrite it as only Jewish people define freedom as letting deranged psychopaths do whatever the hell they want. Well, perhaps they can give an example. Well, I could take a quick look at it. Not to mention the fact that Jehovah's Witness baptisms are full on girls gone wild. They do dress sharp though. Oh, these are Mormons. I also reported about the Mormons being at the attack or something, at multiple attacks or whatever. Richard Goodjar also. Fascinating. I don't know how Jehovah's Witnesses dress. Ah! It's different. Yes, this meme is retarded, and yes, I am probably losing my edge due to the stress. Charles, don't taste me, bro. Russell. And then perhaps the human centipede idea would work. Russia's Supreme Court has branded the Jehovah's Witnesses as an, quote, extremist group, unquote, and banned them from operating in the country. The court ordered the government to seize the Christian group's property. Justices on Russia's Supreme Court issued a ruling on Thursday that bans Jehovah's Witnesses from operating anywhere in the country. Then what about Catholics, Catholicism, and Muslim? Well, there are not many Muslims there, I guess. The court also ordered the closure of the Christian group's headquarters in Russia and its 395 local chapters. The ruling also said the organization must hand over all its property to the state, Russian news agencies reported. I don't know if I agree with this ruling. I doubt it. If it's, I think it's kind of weird. They pose a threat to the rights of citizens, public order and public security, unquote, Interfax news agency quoted Justice Ministry attorney Svetlana Borisova as saying. Cool dunk, that's a term now they use nowadays in the fake mainstream media. Target destroyed. Whatever. The decision comes after the Justice Ministry said it found signs of extremist activity within Jehovah's Witnesses and requested it be banned. Sergei Cherepanov, a Jehovah's Witnesses representative, said the group plans to appeal the decision in the European Court of Human Rights. We will do everything possible, Interfax quoted Cherepanov as saying. He added that he was worried that members of the group could face jail time if they continued to get together. Could face jail time if they continue to gather. So they're not even allowed to peaceable assembly in Russia. Jehovah's Witnesses has come under increasing pressure from Russian authorities over the past year. Several of the group's publications were placed. I'm thinking, well, if it has time travel capability, perhaps it's all planned in this article, perhaps it's not important, perhaps I should just move on. But to my knowledge, the Jehovah's Witnesses that have visited my mother when she was still alive were very nice, and they're nice people for as far as I've been able to find out. But okay, there are web pages about Jehovah's Witnesses and other religious groups in relation to pedophilia, etc. But what these activities would be then, extremist activities, signs of extremist activity within science, just science, it's not evidence, this is now what do the people write? Every Jehovah's Witness I had the misfortune of meeting had mental issues. Well, all believers do. They're called psychotic people, and they've lost contact with reality. It's a form of psychoticism, not of childhood neurosis. But they can be more normal than some unbelievers out there. So on a scale from 1 to 10, you could still argue they're 60% or so. Or more even. Some of them don't really believe, they just want to be with the group or the wife or their loved one. Their husband or someone is Jehovah's Witness or whatever. I don't know. I don't know enough about them or anything. Though I studied at the University of Amsterdam, so you know I'm stupid. Otherwise I would have been making love and doing other things like creating a cure against aging, not studying my studying. Isn't it wonderful? JW's witnesses are mild irritants, while Muslims are homicidal maniacs. Why is one banned and not the other? Perhaps the neural network knows the answer. Are you there, our great neural network? Hello, hello, anybody? So Jehovah's Witnesses are banned in Russia While Muslims are homicidal maniacs, they are not banned. Why is one banned and not the other? Is the question. If you all know the answer, please comment on this video or Skype me Prologic999 on Skype. I'd love to know the answer. This is sort of suggesting people do illegal things, basically. Boycotting is one legal measure that people can take, and of course exposing the evildoers, basically. And of course, getting rid of 7 billion people is quite unbeatable, quite evil on the Richter scale. I just added that because it rhymed. Oh, it's supposedly Martin Luther who wrote this. Burned their schools and synagogues, transferred Jews to community settlements, confiscated all Jewish literature which was blasphemous, prohibit rabbis to teach on pain of death, etc. Well, it might be just what they're gonna do to you all, of course. He made the manual. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding, of course. It's satires. Multiple forms of satire, basically. Biggest new mosque in Europe. So that's the tit-shaped building, Al-Aqsa, the Vatican, the Federal Reserve Building or something. Oh, the Capitol Building. Are all of these tit-shaped buildings, basically. They call them. And the little dot on top is basically their satanic inner core, and they've surrounded themselves with possibly even righteous, good Christians, and some of them expose a lot of the shit that's going on. But most of them are controlled opposition. You could argue if they're religious, then they're controlled opposition. They mix in the lie that God exists with the truth, basically. Like the flat earthers mix in the lie that the earth is flat. And you can prove that it's spherical. You can overlook a bay. If the bay is big enough, then you can see the Earth's curvature, because the buildings on the other end of the bay seem to be partially underwater, which is caused by the Earth's curvature. Of course they're not. You might need binoculars, but it's easier than going all around the world to prove that it's round. 153 more replies. So I think the Jesuits control it, and the Jesuits are doing this to the witnesses for some reason. So I think they're not going to ban Catholicism and the Muslim faith, with the Pope kissing the feet of Muslims. I think it's not going to happen. And the question is also if we would want that, basically. I've already argued that education is the key, that the Bible is a collection of plagiarized polytheistic myths rolled into monotheism, and that proves beyond any reasonable doubt that God does not exist. It's scientific proof, you could argue. usually we don't get to hear this stuff on YouTube, and though there are people that expose it, of course, most people don't search on these types of words to find their videos. When reality comes to visit you, blacks bully one Antifa, kill another. So always have a self-destruct mechanism. The obsession with archive as links is out of control. Archive.is. The obsession with archive.is links is out of control. So, I don't think anyone will notice again, but okay. Bill O'Reilly's hot chocolate accuser on The View. There are other what they call black women that I find hotter anyway. But okay, she's not very ugly, I guess. U-turn, Berkeley. Anyway, I prefer blonde usually, to be quite honest. Perhaps it's genetic also, I don't know. But IQ is not, so I don't believe that. I know blondes have an IQ that is a bit higher, about 1% higher, but that's because of their environment and not because of their genetic makeup. Anyway, you can all read this on thedailystormer.com. I should have been masturbating already, and now it's the end of Friday shopping for some people. It's already at 5 o'clock in the Netherlands usually. But the supermarket may still be open. If I really have to get some, no, I think we got it already. But still not comfortable and whatever. Perhaps I can just put it on myself, perhaps it's cooler. Well, better lighting, I like it. It's quite red because I use red light in my environment. So they're constantly messing with my throat, etc. And even if there would be centipedes in my body, then it is okay to have sex with me in reality, and also with other people that have tapeworm inside their body. It's not contagious, it's actually quite healthy according to sources online. The centipede venom and centipedes themselves are healthy, and some use them as a cure for several diseases. So the doctors, I cannot convince the doctors that they're in my body, and even if I could, they don't have a cure. So there's no use in doing that. So I hope that there are scientists that, especially centipede experts, I hope they can contact me, and I'll give them $150 if they can find a way to get them out of my body. Together with them I can be able to find a way, of course, if they know the differences between humans and centipedes, and the whole DNA of the Lesbius forficatus is online, and it should be quite easy to make something that doesn't kill the human, only the centipede. But if these are remotely controlled critters, a la Neo in the Matrix, then that would mean that they can let them go out of my throat when they do a bronchoscopy with the camera in my throat, which is not pleasant, and the colonoscopy in my behind was even worse, in my ass, the camera, that was pretty painful. And the CT scan and PET scan weren't exactly fun either. But at least I've been totally checked, and the blood tests also reveal that I don't have cancer anymore, which I think they induce with their cancer quake harp, I used to say, their Fipa array in Poker Flat, Alaska. So yeah, if you can help me, please contact me on Prologic999 on Skype, or if you want to join against the depopulation and for creating a permanent cure against aging and a perfect society. a non-fictional utopia in which we all will live happily eternally. I think they're making the opposite a negative dystopia. And yeah, if we get a relationship, if I'd have a relationship with someone, she can sleep in the other room, and I would tell the person about the possibility that there are centipedes in my body which nobody believes. And I've already made a video also for the psychiatrists in which I claim there are no centipedes in my body and why not, the reasons why they can't be in my body, so you can prove it to everyone. So. This is my new cheap fake fur hat from eBay. I really love it, it's cool. I also have other colors, they're cheap, they're warm, and I think it looks awesome. So yeah, it's possible I'm healthier than most people and that the centipedes have died a natural death. So then I'm saved, and I hope that... Oh yeah, quite two-state solution, world war. Of course that can be avoided by making an agreement that says that the allied countries of Palestine, Iran and Russia, and the allied country of the US may not interfere if Palestine and Israel go to war with each other. So the allied countries of Israel and Palestine may not assist if they go to war with each other. Basically, then a world war cannot occur, but that may be their obvious goal, so then why would they make such an agreement? So, that's it for now. I temporarily halt this broadcast for universal peace, 1806. And that's the time from timeanddate.com. And sometimes I'll have to refresh that page, and it may differ 1 or 2 seconds or so from the real time, atomic time. So, I hope you all have a great time and a wonderful life, more orgasms, good food and healthy, clean water, healing waters, and air. An air cleaner with an ionizer. And these little ionizers are cheap on eBay, so you can also have them in your cancer-causing tragedieus cancer cop cars. Cancer, yeah. And tetra also causes cancer, so you can put aluminum foil around the thing. So I'm on the side of the police officers and even the Masons, because they have not tortured me personally. They probably don't know I exist, etc. I am. And operation, which may indicate PSYOP or whatever. It's MNOP basically. And POP or OPP can stand for operations, programs and projects. And you can find overviews of those, so they have to show what they do with the taxpayer money to a certain extent. And you could argue secret laws must be banned and are null and void, and always have been. But for now, I'm now gonna now I'm gone for universal peace. Thinking if there's anything else that's really the most important thing. Your life is the most important thing, so make that cure against aging yourself, no one else will do it. Universal peace forever.